In 2017, Universal Pictures revived one of cinema's most beloved franchises with The Mummy. Directed by Alex Kurtzman, this action-packed adventure took audiences on a thrilling ride through ancient tombs, cursed artifacts, and supernatural forces. Join us as we delve deeper into the mysteries of The Mummy. The film begins with a flashback to ancient Egypt, introducing us to Princess Amenet, whose destiny is forever altered when her bid for power is thwarted, leading to her mummification alive. Fast forward to modern times, where we meet our protagonist, Nick Morton, a soldier of fortune with a penchant for uncovering ancient treasures. His discovery of Amenet's tomb sets off a chain of events that unleash chaos upon the world. Amenet, portrayed brilliantly by Sofia Boutella, emerges as a formidable force of evil, fueled by centuries of rage and a desire for ultimate power. Her resurrection sets the stage for an epic battle between good and evil. To combat Amenet's dark forces, Nick must join forces with archaeologist Jenny Halsey and the enigmatic Dr. Henry Jekyll, whose organization, Prodigium, specializes in combating supernatural threats. What follows is a pulse-pounding adventure across the globe, filled with breathtaking action, heart-stopping suspense, and jaw-dropping visual effects. From harrowing plane crashes to epic battles amidst ancient ruins, The Mummy delivers non-stop thrills from start to finish. At its core, The Mummy is not just a tale of ancient curses and supernatural powers, but also a story of redemption and sacrifice. Nick Morton's journey from selfish rogue to reluctant hero is a testament to the power of love and redemption. An ancient Egyptian princess is awakened from her crypt beneath the desert, bringing with her malevolence grown over millennia and terrors that defy human comprehension. Though safely entombed in a crypt deep beneath the unforgiving desert, an ancient princess, whose destiny was unjustly taken from her, is awakened in the current day, bringing with her malevolence grown over millennia and terrors that defy human comprehension. Soldier of fortune Nick Morton Tom Cruise accidentally discovers the tomb of a female pharaoh of ancient Egypt, named Amenet Sofia Boutella, during a firefight in the Middle East. But when he and a British Egyptologist Annabelle Wallis try to excavate the findings, the resurrected Amenet emerges from her sarcophagus with a plot to enslave humanity. Destined to rule all of Egypt, the beautiful Princess Amenet sees her sacred birthright stolen from her instead when the pharaoh begets an heir. Eternally damned for an unholy pact with the dark Egyptian deity Set, the now abominable servant of evil must endure an everlasting torment deep into the bowels of Mesopotamia, until opportunistic U.S.N. Army Reconnaissance Sergeant Nick Morton inadvertently sets her free some 5,000 years later. Now, Amenet, the all-powerful vessel of destruction, thirsts to fulfill her destiny as tragedy befalls present-day London. Will Nick let The Mummy plunge our world into death and despair? London, 1157 AD. Crusader knights bury one of their own with a jewel resting in his hands. Jump to the present day, where the tombs of many other crusaders are discovered beneath London's catacombs. Dr. Henry Jekyll Russell Crowe enters the tunnels and comes across one particular tomb with hieroglyphs, leading him to realize what this means. Through flashbacks, Jekyll tells the story of Princess Amenet Sofia Boutella. She was a cunning warrior who was ready to succeed her father, the pharaoh Menethesel until his second wife gave birth to a boy. Knowing that the boy would be the pharaoh's new successor, Amenet made a pact with Set, the god of death, to sell her soul for a dark power. Armanet murders Menefta, his wife, and their baby. She prepares to perform a ritual on her lover using a special dagger that would give Set a body of his own. But the pharaoh's priests stopped Armanet and killed her lover. She was mummified alive and had her sarcophagus taken away from Egypt and down a tomb where she could never be found. We move to Mesopotamia or Iraq in the present day. U.S. Army Sergeant Nick Morton Tom Cruise and his buddy Corporal Chris Vale Jake Johnson are reconnaissance soldiers riding toward a village being overrun by insurgents. Nick wants to go down for some adventure, while Vale is strongly against it. They go down there anyway and get shot at. Vale orders an airstrike to take the insurgents out. As the bombs are dropped, a hole opens in the ground, nearly sucking Nick and Vale down there. They discover Armanet's tomb. The guy's superior, Colonel Greenway Courtney B. Vance, comes to the site in a helicopter and immediately berates the two for running off and doing their own thing, chasing insurgents. Moments later, an archaeologist named Jenny Halsey Annabelle Wallis shows up and smacks Nick for stealing a map from her after they shared a night together. After seeing the tomb, Nick, Vale, and Jenny all descend to see what is down there. Jenny notes that there are watcher statues facing inward instead of outward, and there are chains holding the sarcophagus down while submerged in mercury to weaken evil spirits. Nick shoots a chain, causing the sarcophagus to rise from its holdings. He then sees a vision of Armanet calling to him, thanking him for freeing her. A bunch of camel spiders begin crawling down from the walls. Vale shoots at them, but he gets bitten in the neck, though Nick claims they are not poisonous. They get back to the surface and bring the sarcophagus up. Everyone rides home in a plane. Vale starts to act weird as his skin has turned grey and his eyes look discolored. He tries to cut the sarcophagus free from its holdings. Greenway approaches him to stop him, but Vale stabs him twice, killing Greenway. Vale starts moving toward Nick and the other soldiers, forcing Nick to shoot Vale dead. Nick and Jenny go into the cockpit and see a whole flock of crows flying and crashing through the windshield. The pilots are killed, and the plane starts to go down. Nick gives Jenny a parachute and pulls it so she can get out safely. The plane then crashes with everyone on board. Nick wakes up in a body bag at a morgue in London. Standing next to him is Vale's ghost, who tells him that they are both cursed. Jenny is asked to identify the bodies of the deceased but is surprised to see Nick alive. At the crash site, rescue workers find the sarcophagus and Armanet's corpse. One man approaches it and is caught off guard as Armanet sucks the life out of him and his partner to regenerate her body. She then uses her powers to turn them into reanimated corpse slaves. Nick and Jenny are in a pub. He goes to the bathroom and sees Vale's ghost talking to him again. He warns Nick that Armanet has chosen him for a reason. Nick then runs out of the pub and is cornered in an alley by a whole swarm of rats. They crawl all over him as he sees Armanet crawling toward him, but he is snapped out of this vision by Jenny. She tells Nick what she learned from reading the hieroglyphs on the sarcophagus. She knows about Set's dagger and the jewel that must join it to complete the ritual. Jenny tells Nick about the jewel being buried with the Crusaders there in London. Nick and Jenny go to the Crusaders' tombs and they uncover the jewel from the Crusaders' coffin. As they try to leave, they are trapped by Armanet and her undead slaves. Nick and Jenny fight off the undead and escape the tomb. They ride through the woods in a van and are chased by Armanet and the undead. An undead slave crashes through the windshield and causes the van to overturn and roll down a hill. Armanette tries to get Nick, but she is shot with a hook and is taken down. A whole team of men show up to rescue Nick and Jenny. The two are taken to Prodigium, a facility located beneath the Natural History Museum of London. As Nick walks through the hall, he sees a number of artifacts, including a skull with fangs Dracula, and a scaly four-armed creature from the Black Lagoon. Nick meets Jekyll, who begins to explain what he knows about Armanette and the forces of evil out there. Their facility is dedicated to uncovering dark forces and containing them. Armanette is chained up and is subdued with mercury being pumped through her body. Nick approaches her and listens to her talking about the ritual she attempted to perform on her lover. She tries to sway Nick by saying he would have complete control over death and become a living god if he joined her. Nick returns to Jekyll's office with Jenny. Jekyll appears to be undergoing a transformation and tries to prevent it using a serum, but Nick grabs the serum, demanding answers. A Prodigium agent pulls Jenny out but leaves Nick inside. Jekyll then turns into his monstrous alter ego, Edward Hyde. He and Nick fight, with Hyde nearly winning until he gets injected with the serum. Meanwhile, Armanette summons a camel spider to crawl into the air of another agent so that he may break her free from her holds. Armanette is loose and she takes the dagger and the jewel. Nick and Jenny flee the facility as Armanette begins to unleash a sandstorm upon the city. Nick and Jenny run through the tunnels where they encounter more of Armanette's undead slaves. The two fight them again, with Nick crushing or ripping their heads off. They are pushed into the water by an undead, but they destroy it. Nick and Jenny swim up there, but Armanette grabs Jenny and drags her underwater. Nick fights off more of the undead and tries to save Jenny, but she drowns. Nick pulls her body out of the water and is confronted by Armanette. He attempts to smash the jewel until Armanette once again tries to persuade him to join her. Nick holds the dagger out as if to give it to her, but he instead stabs himself with it, now becoming possessed by Set. He battles Armanette and gives her the kiss of death to suck the life out of her, reducing her back to a corpse. Nick then goes over to Jenny and brings her back to life by screaming at her to wake up. He then disappears. Jenny reunites with Jekyll as Armanette's body is placed back into a sarcophagus filled with mercury. Jenny wonders what will happen to Nick now that he is technically a monster. Jekyll muses that it took a monster to defeat a monster, and that there is hope for Nick so long as he retains a shred of his humanity. Somewhere in the desert, Nick has brought Vale back to life. They ride their horses off on another adventure as a sandstorm follows them. One of the biggest blockbusters to come out in the summer of 1999 was an Egypt-set action thriller starring Brendan Fraser. While the film was pretty campy and over the top, it worked well and resonated with audiences. Fast forward 18 years, and we have a film of the same title, The Mummy, only starring Tom Cruise in the role of Nick Morton, a treasure-hunting renegade who stumbles upon a 5,000-year curse. The only problem is, this film is far inferior to the original. Whether it's Cruise's shtick not jiving with the plot, or the lackluster CGI, or the wooden script, it's hard to say. There's really nothing thrilling about Mummy, as everything feels borrowed, used or broken. Nothing is shiny and new. Even fresh faces, like Jake Johnson and Sofia Boutella, aren't enough to up the excitement factor. and vets like Russell Crowe come off as looking to be in need of a paycheck rather than delivering a performance to be happy with. The action sequences are boring, the comic relief is far from funny, and the acting itself is nothing to marvel at. Cruise can usually find a way to make his films at least somewhat entertaining, but he fails here. There is no chemistry between any of the characters, including Nick and his love interest, Jenny Halsey, Annabelle Wallis, so the onus is really on Cruise to shoulder everything. In this case, it's an insurmountable task. The Mummy is a half-hearted attempt to revive a franchise that started strong and has since faded, so it's likely it will be put back in a sarcophagus. In the end, The Mummy leaves audiences with a sense of wonder and excitement, while also laying the groundwork for future installments in Universal's dark universe. Whether you're a fan of action, adventure, or the supernatural, The Mummy offers something for everyone. So grab your popcorn, buckle up, and prepare for the ride of a lifetime. Thank you for joining us on this journey through The Mummy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cinematic explorations. Until next time, happy watching.